Welcome to ToV Live. It is Valhalla time. As soon as I find that button. Here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the ToV podcast, episode 72. We are going to be recapping Wave 5 tonight. And just real quick in the chat, Premiumscape is the first person to comment in the chat tonight. Congratulations, you are the first one to comment, and we also have the Soloscaper and Dan Antonio there as well in the chat. And yes, Soloscaper, I also watched your video as well. It was very cool, very cool. I think Soloscaper is actually the first one to actually talk about Wave 5. I don't think there's much any of us to go into detail or depth about it until tonight, because we are going to give a bit of an overview over Wave 5 and talk about them. And of course, I am Ryan, aka Tales of Valhalla, and I have with me tonight my lovely panel. Since it is kind of sort of a holiday weekend, you know, we're just bringing in who we can. So we have no, they're special. Everybody who volunteers is special to me. So we have a Hexala with us tonight, that lovable duo, and we also have a Sir Joe Crazy with us as well. How are you doing, Joe?
It's going good.
How you doing,
it's going
Joe?
good.
Yeah, well, Soloscaper, yep, you got to strike when the iron's hot for sure with it. So, give us up. What's up? Did I miss something?
Nothing.
I'm looking at a zillion things, so...
Nope, you're good.
Okay.
You missed a thing.
Okay, great. So, tonight, we'll be going through Wave 5. We're going to first be talking about, like, the characters, the terrain, and, oh yeah, the after credit scene, which I did not set up. Oh, I took pictures and stuff, and now, thank you, Joe. I should have looked at this timesheet probably like a few hours ago. Then I probably would have remembered to get this. So I'm not going to show anything. I'll talk about it, and then we will end the stream then. So let's look at some our comments here in the chat. See here, Dan Antonio saying. It was cool. I haven't compared the dragons to Greenscale so closely, so that was informative. Yeah, you know, the more I think about it, the more that the Scions just seem very, very interesting to me, but we'll get to that in a second. How about we start talking about characters, or actually, okay, I'm going to flip this around, because actually I had a plan. Even before looking at this timesheet. I'm sorry, Joe. I'm sorry. But what I'm going to do is, before we look at characters, I want to look at some of the boxes and
that's
like
fine
stuff, and let's just do that. Okay, here I got to share the screen.
So we go. So when we talk about going to looking at the boxes, we're talking about the upcoming releases shop. We're looking at the shop at Renegade.
Yes. So
who's being paired with what? You know,
what's in the box?
Gotcha. What's in the box? What's in the box? Yes, indeed.
If I can find the right button here, I'll get this.
Oh, I got it pulled up. I'm ready to go. You ready?
I'm
Excel, you guys ready?
I'm gonna get it.
Ready.
I'm gonna get it. I hope this is the right.
Good to see you guys.
We're ready to spend more money.
Good money. I mean, honestly,
we
like
all can come back to Spaceballs.
We look at these prices and like we look at our bank accounts and go, man, it's gonna be really hard. But like honestly though, like if we look at the other games that have come out, like we look at Warhammer's prices, we look at what's the other one? BattleTech's prices. Like it's still a really good deal. Like you're getting painted miniatures for $60-$70 compared to $60 to $70 for two characters that you have to build and then also paint. So in the grand scheme of the multiverse, this is still really decent prices, even with the hike up from the tariff. So
yeah,
pretty awesome stuff.
And even like if you think this is like, if you want to save a few bucks, you can wait. You don't necessarily need to get the pre-orders. Just pre-order what you think you would like to have immediately, and then wait till they get sold for like 10 or so bucks cheaper, like somewhere else. Patience, delayed gratification, if you can. So let's take a look at this overview. So what they announced, like I said, we'll go through these figure box, like these mini boxes, and individually for a second, or in a little bit. But I did want to look at the non-mini, the terrain stuff, and I really like this one. Here, let me get this over here and share this one. So the Valhalla dice tray set. Now I did look at this last Wednesday with Jeremy, so I'm not going to like dive too much into it, but I just want to point out those dice look cool. And the dice box looks really cool, but I just want to show real quick the nod, and I have to share a different screen, so bear with me. Bear with me a second.
Okay, we're bearing with you.
I'm auto burning with you.
One thing I will say, Premiumscape says a good thing is that he's worried that they will run out, and I don't think that's the case. I don't think they'll run out. I know the initial run of that first wave of Age of Annihilation, they did wind up running out, so I get it. But I'm curious for you guys. Do you guys have FOMO?
Yeah. The worst.
Yeah.
With Heroscape?
Okay,
Yeah.
explain to me this acronym, please, because I'm sorry.
FOMO. Oh, you're not familiar. Okay,
my
hold on. All right. So
is not
FOMO.
functioning clearly, so no.
FOMO is an acronym for fear of missing out.
Yeah, okay.
So, you know,
I've heard this talked about.
In the grand scheme of things, if I wait till right before the day that they ship things out, like the week before, if I wait a little bit, you know, for this wave this is releasing in October, I believe. So if I wait till January to order these, will they run out? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I generally don't think so. But at least for us, I'm curious because, you know, we make content on this stuff. So
Well,
we have to kind of buy it, like, to keep up with everything.
I think this is a win-win, though, because if they run out of stuff, that means they're succeeding, you know?
yes,
So
of course.
That's what we should be hoping for, is that things run out, because they have done that before. They
Sure.
Not if I can't make a video on it. Then I don't.
Anywho, I would just
Sorry,
want to show you
guys.
guys
They
this.
ran out.
I don't know if you guys remember this symbol. This is a symbol that Chris Nadeau dropped on us when Avalon Hill was in control of the IP, and he was thinking of lore. And this symbol, Renegade, was able to acquire, and they put in that dice tray. I don't know if you all realize that, but yes, that is the case. And here, let me go back to...
Yeah, for sure. I think that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Even them using the alphabet that he came up with is phenomenal.
Yep.
I love that with the lore that they have out now. They have stuff for us to decrypt, which is great.
Yep.
And it's just incredible that the lore is expanding a little bit more because of things like that. It feels like it makes the world feel more livable. If we have something to, you know, something more tangible to work with other than just the stories.
Absolutely. So, and you can barely see it, but it's right there in the corner there. Actually, here, let me get it. Let me get this one. There it is, right there. So it looks a little bit different, but it's the same symbol. So that's really nice. That's really nice. It's the same map, although I think they've altered the terrain a little bit on this, for various reasons. But same Valhalla map. So that's kind of cool. Dice tray for $30. Really cool dice. I think if I get nothing else, I'm probably gonna get that for sure. And okay, what else? Terrain packs. Do we want to like discuss terrain packs at all?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Because I have a gripe.
Okay, go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, please.
Why we waited so long for stackable walls? Okay, and I granted there are new wall. I think there's a new wall configuration too, unless but
different ways of doing
the
it, yeah.
arch, $70. We're getting one arch. Why? Why?
Oh, just one arch. Oh yeah, because
one. We got the arches from
Joe.
From the master set.
Joe.
So even if by chance, I get it. Even if by chance you do not play Heroscape and you still want walls for your BattleTech or for Warhammer or whatever, one arch, one walkway. Come on.
Joe.
Yeah.
In all fairness, the fortress only has one arch gate as well.
That has a door.
Yes.
That makes sense.
But this is kind of a door too. It's a ruined door, so.
It's not a ruined door, it's an arch. There's a difference between a door with a hinge.
You can put something in it though too.
You can what?
Yeah.
What kind of argument is that? You can put something in it. You can do that with the.
No. What I'm saying is, can't you fit like something in the slot there to make it door like? I thought you could. No? Oh, okay.
Like what? You're saying that there's a piece that comes with it that you can fit into it to make it a wall?
I thought there was. Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
Right? Hold on, I got it.
Okay.
How do we look?
Then it's just an arch then. But at the same time,
yeah, it's just an arch.
It doesn't matter because
it does.
It doesn't matter if there's a door or not. It's still it's
one
entry.
I don't need a door. I'm saying I just want two arches.
I mean,
I already have plenty of walls.
I understand your point. But at the same time, Fortress only had one doorway type thing, one doorway arch type thing. So
that also came with ladders, but I wasn't asking for ladders here.
If they would put ladders in this,
no one wanted ladders. No one wants ladders. We want escalators. We want stairs. That'd be cool.
Rope ladders.
Yeah.
Elevator, please.
What about like a teleportation thing, right? I mean those glyphs. I know those glyphs.
Yeah.
But something fancier. But
how about a portal?
That's where we go reach out to those people in the customs community. We can make customs for that. We don't have to ask Renegade to do that stuff, but if you're gonna put one arch in there, put another arch. Put two arches. That's all I'm saying.
Connecting archways.
Well,
hashtag more arches. Can we get that going? Come on.
Now, one thing I know though, I hope this doesn't begin and end here. They definitely need more structures and more different variations of structures. We need some type of new fortress type setting. I think I had someone comment just I think today that it would be great to have some type of pirate ship structure. And it's like, yeah, not wrong. We definitely need more than just this for sure. It's a great start, but they need more variations of structures and things just to keep the excitement of the game going, really, to be perfectly honest. So
I think the fair feedback for this is you shouldn't have in a set one of anything for a map, because then you have to relegate it to a centerpiece and you can't make symmetrical things on a map anymore. So I think that's fair feedback.
No, you're absolutely right.
Thank you, Ben. Yeah. No one's on my side, and I can live with that. So.
We're on your podcast. We don't have to be on your side.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what do you need to buy two?
I'm a man standing on my own,
Yeah, imagine holding two arches in your hand. I said I paid $140 for these two arches.
I must have, and there's
Don't worry.
nothing, no slot to put them in, so I can't make them into a door. No, I need some. Okay, here's what someone needs to make something to where you can make some type of entryway for this type of thing, 3D printed. Just design it, make it so it can like slide in there, attach in there. So there is some type of breakable like wall thing, you can put for this archway. Someone just create off Blender, 3D print it. Let me know. I have community. Like I've said things before in my imagination, and then someone ended up doing it. So wouldn't surprise me if someone did. Thank you, Soloscaper. I appreciate you. It's happened before. So, but yes, I definitely think there should be more of this. Now, how about looking just real quick at Roads of Valhalla? See, you get
How do we feel about it not having trees?
That's fine.
Yeah, you fine with that?
Yeah,
I'm fine with that too.
The road pieces when selling them on eBay, it's a fair price for these road tiles, I think, and you get 2 bridges instead of 1. So
See, Joe, too.
Although
I would buy a lot of this.
I was full. Now, this is one thing I'll also complain against is that what shows on the box doesn't necessarily mean that's what you're getting in the box. Because I thought, you're going to have some breakable wall pieces with things. No, it's just the road. It's just the road. So I don't know if anybody was thrown off by that, but apparently I'm a very gullible person. So no, it's just these. It's just these things. There's no land terrain. There's nothing but the roads and walls. That's it. That's it. It's just
but from a marketing standpoint, why would you include those on the front of the box?
Yeah,
on the front of the box,
it
extremely
shows,
visible.
It shows, I guess, what can be done with it. I don't know, but yeah, it's you might as well
the
just
grass and the water tiles are one thing, but the wall pieces is.
You might as well just have the thing like a clear see-through, so you could just see the items inside it. I think that would have been a better way of showing it, other than because then you kind of like, wait a second, is this stuff there? Is that stuff there? I don't know. So yeah, it's a little misdirection there.
Oh, so it doesn't come with walls.
The road? No.
Oh,
it only comes. Yeah. See,
what the heck?
There you go.
No, it does. It says, look in the contents. Look at the table of contents. It says 16 1-hex road terrain tiles, 2 5 road hex. Wait, no 2s? No 2s, but 4 walls.
Yeah, these walls.
Yeah, those are the road walls.
Not the Lar wall pieces that are on the front of the box.
The road walls.
My bad. Yeah. That's on me.
Yeah, no, it's
okay.
No,
but I'm still mad about the 2s.
I was
mad there's
fooled
no
by that
2s.
last Wednesday too, so don't worry. But yeah, there's no 2s.
That's insane.
Don't know. But still, for $50, and then eventually it'll probably get lesser too when it gets, sold through other venues. It's not bad. You usually spend the same, if not more, on eBay for the old road tiles. So. But
yeah, Premium Skate says it's a bridge pack, not a road pack. That's fair. That's truly fair.
No, it says the Roads of Valhalla.
Well, let me ask you this: the original Roads to Valhalla, or the tree pack thing, didn't that come with 1 bridge?
Yes, just 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a bridge pack.
It was 1 bridge, some road pieces, 2 trees, and then Dumatef.
Yeah, but exactly.
No, I'm saying the original pack with all the trees. Oh, right, with the dump off. Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I described.
1 bridge.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm sorry.
So.
Don't question me.
It's too bad. It would have been cool if you had some type of Dumatef figure or some type of I don't know, something at least to go with this. But anyway.
I think that has been one of the more disappointing about the terrain packs now, is that we're not getting some sort of figure that goes with them in some way, like we did before.
But at the same time, we were kind of demanding that. It's like, just keep the miniatures separate from the terrains, because there were issues with doing that.
That's fair.
Yeah. So, but yeah, based off I'm trying to buy road type terrain on eBay. It's about the same price as purchasing this in hand. So it's not that huge a deal. If you want to wait to get a bunch of them, just wait, and then it's a few more bucks off on different seller website in the future. So at least that's what we got, what we're getting. And yeah, we have the rest of these guys. Yada. So okay, let's do units.
And you still want to go by the boxes instead of the character bio page?
No, I'm gonna do character bio.
Okay.
I'm clicking a button and this thing's not listening to me. So guess what? I have to close this out and see what's going on.
Do you overload it?
You know, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here anymore. Maybe I hit the button twice. I don't know. I don't know why I accepted it twice. I don't know.
Yeah, people are saying that $50 feels pretty high for the road pack. I guess. I mean,
buy older road terrain pieces. I mean, it's relatively the same amount as like because I was selling road tiles on eBay, and comes to almost the same price.
Yeah, Premiumscape says I was expecting a 24 hex road tile.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look, I'd love to have a parking lot. Like honestly, if they ever get to a chance to bring back the concrete and asphalt, I do want 24s of those. I really would want that because I do want to actually have a parking lot. That'd be great.
Darn right.
So keep that in mind, Renegade, please. Give me the 24 hex concrete and
we want
asphalt.
24 hex of everything. Just roads, just
I don't know why they couldn't.
24 hex wellspring.
Darn right.
Yeah, why not? That's the only way to use it, honestly.
Amen. you have to make it through this
no one
just
willingly. I have never seen anyone willingly walk into a tile and be like, this is gonna work. All right, guys. This is gonna be a clutch round. Watch me.
And I apologize for all you commenting in the chat. You guys are going so fast I can't even keep up. But bless you guys, and I'll try to pay attention to
much. Thank you so much for showing up, guys. This is great.
Yeah, bless y'all.
Let us know what else do we need 24s of, even if it's new terrain tiles. I mean, can we get some suggestions of what new terrain tile could we get? I always thought maybe because during Age of Annihilation, before we knew anything, I know Ryan and I were trying to speculate on what kind of terrain could they bring. Maybe some kind of like dying tile where it kind of like sucks like defense out of you. It makes you feel weaker for stepping on it. So it's kind of like water, but it's almost not making you slower, but it makes you weaker. So you lose 1 defense for stepping on it. I don't know.
Kind of boring, but I want quicksand.
That's a good one. That's a great one. How would that work?
I mean, you kind
of ideas on how that would work?
Yeah, the pit trap, but quicksand.
Kind of like a pit trap or a movement suck.
Sure.
Okay. Sure. So that would work differently. It'd have to work differently than the.
So it could be like a water tile.
Extra terrain to get out. Extra movement to get out, like the snow.
It'd be like water tile, but it'd be brown. That actually quicksand, type thing. Because quicksand is actually just like very wet sand. So just
it should be a tile, instead of a hex. Yeah. I'd be fine with that. That actually sounds so give us suggestions, guys, please. We'd like to hear it.
Terrain.
But we do have lots of characters to get to. So are we starting with Chana?
Deflectatron. We're gonna do the promo because.
All right, let's do the promo.
Because if you buy any of those terrain things, and automatically right away, or if I buy the dice box because I like the map, I like the dice, I get this. You get it. Deflectatron. You get it right away. Now, I know, and I've heard some people go like, hey. One thing I like about the miniature is the tripod feel. It kind of reminds me of War of the Worlds type vibe there. So
it does get like a little tripod-y.
Yep, because it's got the three-legged thing. So that reminded me of War of the Worlds.
It also reminds me of the one guys from the Transformers movie. Why can't I think of their name? They have the 3 heads. The 3 heads that turn.
Yeah, this thing has 3 heads too. Cool.
Yeah, because they can see all. They can see all, right?
They see all,
and they're essentially like defending in all directions.
I don't know if you can see this. Apparently they have the Triforce like in each hand.
You do.
If y'all realize that.
Buckets for heads, Triforce for hands.
There he is. Hey, Jason.
Hey, and we got Jason showing up tonight, and right on time. We're talking about one of your favorite.
Oh no, Deflectatron.
I know you were talking a little bit about that in your video the other night, and actually you had a thing talking about with the Deflectatron lore, the space station, a concern about that. Do you want to just mention that briefly, Jason?
I guess that was a good time to jump in and mention that, or is it going to sidetrack everything?
No, go ahead.
No, go for it.
Okay, so of course, the lore behind this, guys, I guess Vidar now has a space station orbiting Valhalla that he summons these things down to the planet with.
Right.
With the obvious, I guess, situation that science fiction and fantasy are kind of completely arbitrary in what you define how the certain world works, with Heroscape, it feels like since Rise of the Valkyrie, that's set defined how Heroscape works, right? You've got ancient soldiers fighting guys with guns and giant robots and dragons and fantasy monsters, and that's how it works. A space station to me just feels out of place. It's like, because for the most part, it seems like Valhalla is a relatively low-tech world. They have cool magic, but they don't have things like airplanes, long-range missiles, rockets, guided weapons, the kind of things that you would expect to see as a side effect of developing a space program to launch a satellite or space station into orbit. So, granted, like I said, disclaimers, Renegade can do what they want. If they want to add this into the lore, go right ahead. But in my opinion, it just feels out of place for how the lore has been established up to this point.
I suppose it just because depends on how Vidar did it, So.
Right. But when it comes to science fiction, there's always then becomes this, well, if he's got all this technology that some other Vicari generals don't use or don't understand, then then obviously Vidar is at a huge advantage. Now he makes a bigger threat. So is Ukkar gonna then start making technology that ramps or uses more magic that might deter itself from all the technology? So I'm curious to see, lore-wise. I mean, I think I disagree that it doesn't fit. I think it does fit.
Okay.
I think it's kind of cool that Vidar is going into space because everything's been on the ground. So that is a huge advantage for Vidar. But because I don't follow the lore 100%, is Vidar still an ally or is he now becoming more of a threat now? Is that been teased at all?
Yeah, we don't know much about Vidar because in the scenario for this month, we find out that Vidar, nobody knows actually.
He's on the moon like Captain America?
What's going? We don't know. He could be underground.
Oh my god!
He is apparently sending like messages to some of his I think his Omnicrons or whatever, or not Omnicrons. Whatever mechanical units he has.
Solbergs?
Yeah, Solbergs, yeah.
Gladiatrons,
yeah. So something like that. Anyway, he's sending stuff to his units, apparently. But Queen Kirion, who's in charge of that faction now on the surface, really doesn't know where he is, what he's doing, hasn't communicated at all. So there's kind of like this huge question mark on, okay, where is Vidar at? What is he doing? Or is he the one that is calling the shots from somewhere? Not sure. Don't know. So yeah, I'm sure now when it comes to, and this is one of the things I can't stand but understand, is the fact that we're giving every bit of story development piecemeal and not always in sequence either. So, and that's one thing that I really can't stand. I like my science fiction, just reading through it like cover to cover, but this is the nature of this particular storytelling beast. So yeah, it remained to be seen. I think Jason has a valid point with this. As a matter of fact, I'd take it a step further because I think, Jason, you mentioned also in your video that wouldn't this change like the dynamics of the war on the surface? If you, if we're thinking in like in terms of here on Earth, if you command and you're in control of orbital space station on a planet, and you're doing that using means of like ICBMs or whatever to bring them up there, isn't it stand a chance that you can also use those same rockets to blow anything up on the surface and totally change any type of ground warfare on the surface of said planet. And now I would kind of argue that with, well, here on Earth, we don't have magic and other things like they do on Valhalla. So there might be a way to story around that, but it still is an interesting thought that I didn't consider.
Because that's a challenge, right? We don't know how he got this space station into orbit. Maybe he just magically appeared there and he teleported it or something like that. But once you start bringing in from just general science fiction, or even real rocketry, once you start bringing in orbital mechanics, you can hit something anywhere in the planet. Exactly. I mean, if he actually launched this thing into space with a rocket, at least on Earth, all of our rockets are originally derived from long-range weapons from World War II. Mm-hmm. So, if you can launch a space station into space aboard a rocket, you can then have that rocket come down in your enemy fortress and hit it with an explosive weapon.
Yep. So...
Which would drastically change the balance of power on the planet, which if maybe the other Valkyrie general, like Joe says, start deploying magical shields to protect them from it, and Vidar becomes the main enemy, that could be kind of an interesting storyline to go with.
It would be very interesting. Yeah. I'd actually like that. Please. I love Akar, please. I do. I really do. But I think having a new, different enemy, or at least as the audience thinks it's a different enemy.
Vidar always had his own agenda.
Oh, yeah,
even when he was allied with the other generals, he always had his own agenda. So, yeah. And that's the beauty of creating. You don't want like a cookie cutter general and have them all be the same. You want them to have different personalities and different motivations on whatever they're doing. Whether the other side feels like it's right or not, that character does. So yeah, that's the beauty of creating these characters. All right. So anyway, when it comes to Deflectatron, though, is a very interesting unit. I don't know what you guys' thoughts about the unit. I think just for to keep things simple and brief and not extended, like the 3 hours that me and Jeremy did last Wednesday, and only covered less than half of what we were supposed to cover. So we cover the rest this Wednesday. Deflectatron is very interesting, especially with the magnetic deflector shield. This is something that can really, like any type of army build that has Raylan in it, can really give a bad time to whoever's controlling that unit with a Deflectatron. I think it's I called it last Wednesday like something that kind of destroys that meta in a sense. And with Deflectatron, common hero, and only at 25 points, you can have a few of these in your army as potential fillers. I don't know, this potentially might be a really, really good filler unit, and one that you can use, multiple of as well. So
yeah, I mean, even at 4, even if you max yourself at 4, I think that's pretty solid to cover any map. Have a line of these Deflectatrons to moving all of your commons, in your army through. Just to hold the line, I think is so cool. Mm-hmm. This would work great with Glad's blasts, and naturally as they should. But I'm pretty sure any other combo you can just add these. They're not like
it's a guard, so there's a few synergies under the guard thing.
Sure.
So it's really cool.
But with them being on the board, though, or being summoned onto the board, I don't think you really have to worry about movement too much. But then again, that is a bit of a bonus as well.
Yeah, Ben's saying I love the design space with the orbital deployment. Yeah, it's very interesting.
But do you guys feel that we've gotten to a point with a lot of these Age of Annihilation units that just putting things on the board where you can or where you want has been kind of repetitive? I know it's a new design space and we're trying to exploit it, but are you guys seeing kind of a pattern especially with the rodents that kind of fly in once per round? We have these that spawn in once a round. What's the other one? I feel like there's another unit out there that does that.
I think it's once per round because you don't want to have you want some type of balance. Otherwise, they would be more valuable if you could unleash more of them per round than
yeah, no, I'm not dissing anything on the power itself. Yeah. I'm just saying the concept. You know, there's been
we can have more variety with how deployment works.
Sure.
Beyond just at the beginning of a round, you can put them in, like, you take Airborne Elite and there's a role for it. None of these guys seems to have any sort of that. It's just a, hey, when you want to, you can place one in.
There's, D20s with these units, throw them out the window. Like that. Hasn't been a lot of D20 rolls.
No, and I like the idea of the drop of the deployment, but I think we can have more variety in how it works and get the mechanic of getting them onto the board and the necessary requirements for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben, I believe it's once per round. Yeah, one per round.
Yeah.
So now, and that will make you have to think too. Okay, how many rounds am I going to last depending on the rest of my army? Because I think if you have one off to the side and the rest of your army is wiped out, you can't bring that in. It's just game over. It's the same as like with the Airborne Elite. So that is something to consider as well.
So I guess that does limit the number you'd want in your army, because I'm not bringing, 6 or 7 to a 4-round cap game.
Oh yeah. So
most games are 4. Yeah, so
I think the most I would go is maybe just 3 or 4, and that would be really thinking really hard about it.
Right, and at that point you got 100 points, and you want, your other Glads and Blasts, so you want your Stingers, you want your 4th Mass or 10th Reg, like you want your range units to be with them too.
Absolutely.
I just want to take a quick moment to appreciate that personality is stubborn,
yes.
and I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yes. I saw that. I'm like, please, can we have someone in Heroscape like bond or like work, get like extra things because it's stubborn. Like we haven't got to everybody yet, of course, but personality has been a bit of a touchstone for me. I want more powers to intertwine with personality, and I think we might have gotten that in this wave, but we'll get to them.
I want to ask a strategy question here, because
sure.
Maybe I misheard what Joe said, but so figures adjacent to one or more Deflectatrons cannot determine clear line of sight to any figures. So that includes your own figures. If you drop one next to your own guys to protect them, they can't shoot anybody long range.
Right.
Yeah. So it's only dropping next to enemy shooting units to shut them down, and for whatever reason, if you want to protect your own guy who doesn't need to shoot, you drop them next to them.
It's like a double-edged sword, so to speak. So it's one of those that you have to really think about what you're doing with it. But again, it can take out the area of effect from Raylan, which I think is huge for this unit. That will give like any competitive person like just to think about. Oh, okay, if you have this guy in your army.
I didn't think about that, because there's a lot of special powers that say, if this unit has a clear line of sight to such and such, there's some effect there.
Yep.
And then it's not just like if they're in the range of the unit, they got a clear line of sight that shuts down that special power.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yep.
I also enjoy the you can't put them next to each other.
Yep.
I think that is a fun mechanic for them, especially considering it's like a magnetic. Reading that, I was like, oh, that makes things I have to think more, and I don't like that. But
and again, guys,
I think it's fun.
25 points. The thing is, 25 points. It's so darn cheap. It's so darn cheap.
And I feel like, do you guys feel like that's been a pattern too with Age of Annihilation? Like a lot of the units have been pretty cheap.
Really? Well, it depends, but yeah. It depends. I mean, Delta will leave them out.
I have a whole thing that you don't want me to get into on it.
Anyway, that's the promo. I'm sure we'll be getting a few dozen, before it all is said and done.
Yeah, it's the pre-order bonus, but it's also the promo for when you go to your next tournament during the fall. So This is why I think they made it the promo, so they can at least pass out 2 technically free ones. And then if you wanted more, you can either pre-order a second one or go to another tournament or buy more. So I think it's a good idea.
Okay, and so we're going to be looking at some of these other miniatures. Let's just start with the Wizards and Familiars, okay? Because I haven't really looked at these too much. Although the cool thing is now we have some more Beast Familiars that can link up as opposed to the 2 that we have already. So that's great. Here, let's just scroll by. Okay, Channa, the Zenith Wing?
Zenith Ring.
Zenith Wing.
Yep.
Zenith Wing.
Like the TV company. You guys have a Zenith TV?
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Way back in the 1990s.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
This looks like it's built out of the 90s. Right here. It's perfect.
Let's see.
Looks like a biblically accurate bird.
Yeah.
The stealth flying, okay, is nice on that. And 30 points, again. Just 30 points for this unit. Okay, it's pretty small. It looks like it's actually, it looks like it's pretty huge. But it's actually fairly small. Small 4. It looks bigger.
I actually like this, especially with the bond. It makes bonding. It's a good bonding target.
Oh, for sure. Let's see. Is this a healer? Yeah, it's a healer too, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
12 or higher is pretty good.
Nice.
Range.
It's like a reverse. It's like a reverse Cyprian.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Kind of, but no.
The movement's not as high, but it's like
Right.
giving health instead of taking it away.
That's called healing. Okay.
It's merciful. Am I not
It looks
merciful?
too scary to be merciful.
Am I not merciful? Probably shouts that all day long. And so Escaper saying for the aura shutdown effect, you have to drop them pretty close to your own guys. So at that point, just go and attack Ryland. Yeah, this is also true. And I think like going back to it, or just going back to that second, I think it's better for like if you have like a melee army and you're going up against like Raylan, to where you just bring them in, and so you rely on melee, not exactly any area of effect, and probably would boost that. But yeah, okay. So Channa the Zeppelin beast, nice healer. Okay, move on then. Okay then. No, it's great though that we're getting more familiars, because we need more action. One thing I want to say is, when it comes to familiars or beasts, we need how would I put it? We need some squads. We need some beast squads to go with some of these wizards.
If their power, for example, like Hashalet, the command, well, that's a bad example. Command of the Wild's a little bit more powerful than the other ones. Let's call them Marachott. I'm not saying we should talk about. I'm just saying Command Familiar. So Command Familiar is one beast you control. So
Yeah.
if there was a beast squad, would that still work? You may take a turn with a small or medium beast you
singular.
control, because
It's
usually it would
singular,
be beasts.
Right.
Would that still work?
Unless there's something written in the rules, but I understand what you're saying. There would have to be like different wizards to say like beasts or beasts. I know like there's different rules for different Dryan wizards. Like for this one, it's small or medium beasts. Or is that all for all of them, small or medium beasts? Or
It's all for Command
medium.
Familiar.
Okay.
Yeah, the Hallershot
same
would be
for
the exemption from that, because he has Command of the Wild, which use small, medium, or large beasts. So maybe he could do squads. Do we have any squads of beasts?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so maybe something to think about.
But yeah, Hallershot, I really, let's just bring him up here. I really like this Dryan wizard. This one
it's dope.
Is nice because you can take a turn with up to 2 small, medium, or large beasts. We got some large beasts. So the squads aren't that important for these. So that's really cool. The Staff of Longhand special attack is nice at 125 points. You got some good stats, inside here with 5 life, 5 move, attack 3, defense 4. You have Calm the Beast, which helps you in defense against said beast trying to go up against you. Got flying, of course.
Oh, she can use her special attack before or after her normal.
You're darn right.
Like, you can use your special attack and then normal attack.
Yep.
That's pretty awesome.
I'm my new favorite. She's fun.
So the Escaper says, "Hi, Shauna. Bye, Shauna." Yeah, we just skipped one. We like how
it's short. We get it.
It's like, just overview. It's like, okay. But yeah, no, I really like this one. Arrogant Wizard, by the way. Just don't know if we.
All right.
Very, very.
Me too.
Arrogant.
So.
But no, I think.
I didn't even notice
this
the
build for this
in
one.
the artwork. You can see like snakes all throughout. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think I'm blind.
Oh, all those red things on her clothing are actually snakes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I can see it on the model too.
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, but.
Oh,
I can see it better on the model.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Snakes, serpents.
Yeah. One's looking at her like, huh?
Please, mother, what should I do now?
Yeah.
Well, hence wizards. That mask is just something else.
It's wicked.
Although it's interesting, the figure's all right. It's just a little bit different than this. I mean, what type of stance would you prefer with a miniature? Would you prefer this stance here, or would you prefer like this one?
This one looks sad and boring, in my opinion.
Yeah, no,
she's just kind of standing there. This is powerful.
Yeah, this is aggressive. It's kind of floating off the ground too.
Also levitating.
Not even
the model
gravity.
is also levitating.
Not even gravity can control me. Yeah,
the model is levitating.
Yeah,
is it?
It's her cape is what's touching the ground.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, like me.
Oh yeah.
I see it.
Okay, I see it. Okay, well that kind of gives it a little bit of a boost,
I love the staff. The staff's cool looking. Like, this whole model is absolutely sick.
Now for me, for animating, I'd rather have the staff in this position anyway, because it's a good one to just thwack.
Easier for attacking stuff. Yeah,
to animate. But I like this pose better. Personally, this just looks very open. Like, I'm not shy. I'm ready to grind to dust whoever I need to grind to dust. Very nice.
Very domineering.
Corrupt all the beasts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
I also, small thing, but I love that she's a satyr.
A what?
She's a satyr. She's part her feet are goats.
Oh yes, yes.
I think that's in the horns, which I think are ram horns, but I think it's a super super thing.
Yeah, this is not. I mean, it has a humanoid figure, 2 feet, 2 hands, but this is such a beastly demon-like character, like you said, a satyr. It's just so
you would not want to meet this in a dark alley. You would
no, God, no.
Yeah, this is.
I don't know why is there an alleyway in a forest? By the way,
well,
what forest have you
because
gone
of the
to?
road. It's next to the parking lot.
That's all I want now. I want to make a map where it's half parking lot, half forest. That's all.
Okay. Any comments on Gershia, the Grove Keeper? Any comments on this one? Because then we just kind of really skipped it.
Wicked Thorn's ability confuses me, but I can't tell if I'm just reading it incorrectly.
Here, let me read it out loud and make myself confused. Wicked Thorns. If an enemy, small or medium figure, moves adjacent to Grucia on a space where that figure could end its movement, you may roll the 20-sided die. If you roll a 10 or higher, that figure ends its movement and lower its attack value by 1 until the end of the current turn. If you roll an 18 or higher, the figure also suffers 1 wound.
Oh, I get it. I'm just dumb. I totally read it the wrong way around the first time.
Right. So the 10 only will stop it and lower the attack value, but if you roll the 18, it does that and also the wound thing.
I read it as if that was happening on his turn.
Ah, yeah.
That was don't skim, actually read, kids.
Mm-hmm.
That was my bad. But thank you.
It's when anybody passes them by, right? Basically, right?
Mhm.
Essentially,
Okay. So
yeah.
Thorny vines. Yep.
So basically, he keeps you from trying to climb around him to get height advantage.
And
So if he's next to it,
yes, this would
hill.
actually kind of cancel out if you do hit that 10. Yeah, you're canceling out the height advantage if you are in that predicament.
It's kind of like a better engagement strike.
yeah, I like him standing though.
A little-
What is the
Solo
roll on
escaper.
engagement? Was it 15?
13.
13? Okay.
And later, Ben, thank you for joining us for a second tonight.
Engagements. The engagement strike didn't stop you; it just hit you. So.
Well, it's got reach. I mean, it got a lot of nice things. I like how it can heal himself too. There's usually like a tree or a bush in a competitive map anyway. So you have the potential of removing one wound, and with 6 life, Grisha could stay alive for a good amount of time.
Yeah, especially with 6 life. Yeah, and I was gonna say this is I think the first instance that we're gonna start seeing a trend here when it comes to abilities coming from that D&D world that we had. So I think it was the ice troll, or was it just the normal troll that was like really tall, that large troll that was like the big box art character that like at the end of every turn it just heals one? Does anyone remember what I'm talking about?
No.
I'll pull it up.
Pull it up. My brain is in a few dozen different places. So, and I know we got some like comment like Soloscaper and Dan Antonio is talking about like the artwork of Garushia compared to the mini model, and I think when it comes to the mini model, I think I just need to see a different paint job on it. I don't think the paint job. I mean, there's a bit of colors in this, but it's just, I get it. I prefer him standing. I mean, myself and not sitting down. But this is a wicked pose, though. I agree with the fact.
The
this is a wicked
vines in the
pose.
model don't sell as vines to me.
Right. Well,
Yeah, they're too roundish.
I understand why, because they wanted to make them thicker so they're not snapping off like other classic Heroscape minis have done when you have something that's thin to print out. So I understand it, but maybe with just a little bit of repaint to like color the spikes something different to try and show their sharpness would help. I definitely think this might be something that you would want someone just to paint really well, and it might have a different outlook on it. I mean, I like the standing pose, but at the same time, I understand that this is also a pretty, like, I don't need to move. I'm just gonna sit here and meditate while you die. It's a nice attitude, to have.
Yeah, the Feral Troll and the Ice Troll Berserker both have some sort of healing power. Regenerate for the Feral Troll after taking a turn with the Feral Troll. Remove 1 wound marker from this Feral Troll's army card. And then for the Ice Troll has Cold Regenerate. Remove 1 wound marker from this Ice Troll's army card after taking a turn with it. And if it's on a snow or ice space, remove 1 additional space. So, obviously this is, you take a turn with it. When Garushia is at the end of the round. So this is a bit of a different way of doing it. So instead of every turn, you don't have to have an order marker on Garushia at all for this power to activate, which is, I think, kind of insane. But it is also kind of nerfed from taking turns. So.
And is conditional of being next to a tree as well.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
But at least you have time to get to it.
Sure.
So I feel like that's where I'm like, I really like, I guess, the initial Age of Annihilation units, because these are what we're still looking at here. These aren't the Renegade ones yet. are just so balanced.
Right.
Like you can just see like every single change. You're like, yeah, that one works. Oh yeah, that's it's not too powerful. It's not too weak. It's just it hits it.
The bonding
It hits it for me.
synergies for these Dryons are really nice. Like I said, I
Mhm.
haven't gone in depth with these. I browsed over them because these are ones that we didn't cover last Wednesday. We'll do it this Wednesday. But I did notice that like these Dryons with the familiars, that they bond really, really nicely, and especially like just going back to Heroscape. I really love this one. This one is just, again, so nice. So nice. Anything good things you want to say, since we're like revisiting this one again for a second? Like you're saying, Ice Troll Berserkers. I've actually, like, for my 3D printer, I've 3D printed like proxies. Definitely not proxies, but 3D prints of Ice Troll Berserkers because it's so darn expensive. I do have one original one, but I'm also just 3D printing and painting just so I have like a few available on the map whenever I need it, because I've heard it's really good. So look for that in my armies in the future, because I'm getting them. I'm gonna try them out and use them sometime. But yeah, this is a nice one. Nice stats on this one. Okay, now scrolling down. Marachott. The Mind Whisperer. It's like holding its hand out, like, yes, you shall do as I tell you.
This is what I assume Mind Shackle is, but it isn't.
But again, the miniature looks way different from the
easily. Yeah, I don't know. The artist went into a few more places than we thought.
It's like, it looks like a wooden doll that like is not a good thing. Like the hips don't look in line. I don't know. It's strange. This is
something's.
I should say.
I was gonna say they've turned him into a drag queen.
In the artwork, you're saying.
You said it, not me.
In the model.
Yeah.
In the model. Yeah. Okay.
The hips and the hourglass figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks more feminine, and I don't know, and I don't think it matters, if the character is male or female, but like just the comparison where the artwork looks more male, it's more, it feels broader shoulders, just thicker body form, and that the model is just like way thinner looking.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the card usually says he or she, but I don't see that on here. And usually with a lot of text it would be, but I don't see that.
Yeah, you're not really seeing it.
So again, command familiar, small or medium beast. The stats get kind of interesting.
Well, I think the attack one is because the staff of Corruption.
Exactly. That you gotta read. You gotta read the special abilities for this one.
Automatic skull.
2 automatic skulls whenever is rolled is nuts.
Yep. Yeah. 100. There's a reason why it's 110 points. And hey, thank you to you guys for 100 messages in the chat tonight. Thank you so much. We
super talkative.
We have an active chat. I'm never gonna catch up, so but I appreciate y'all.
I've been searching, seeing if there's anything special that we should talk about. People are loving Halushiat, loving Garushia's model, match the art more, which I get. But we talked about with Garushia though. Like are we liking the standing or the sitting down?
The what? Oh,
Garushia.
Oh, the standing is fine for me, but I think the sitting pose is nice too.
It is nice, yeah.
Yeah, it is nice. But for Marachott, it's a surprising miniature that actually looks really good. And I'm just reading like the Whisper. I'm trying to remember what that's about. Okay, it's got a little bit of range. Okay, it's a 20-sided die.
Yeah, I'm going to read it out loud for those audio listeners.
Go ahead.
So, Marachott's Whisper. After revealing an order marker on this army card and taking a turn with Marachott, you may choose a unique hero within 2 spaces of Marachott. Roll the 20-sided die. adding 3 to the roll if you control that hero. If you roll a 16 or higher, take temporary control of that hero and immediately take a turn with that hero. After taking that turn, control of the chosen hero returns to its previous owner. Any order markers that were on the chosen figure's army card stay on that card. So
it's like a mind shackle.
Once again, going to the D&D line, that would be the... trying to remember the name. Hold on.
Well, it's like a mind shackle almost.
But there's already a unit that does that.
Oh, there's already a unit that does that. Okay.
Oh my god, I can't think of it. Someone in the chat help me out.
But Soloscaper is saying that like my roommate called Marachott will then see 3PO and I can't see it.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Except for the face. The face looks serious on the model.
Quick side note, confirm, is in fact female.
Okay.
So the art does make her look very masculine, though. They just look like 2 different builds, is my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah, this one looks a lot more feminine here. But the face is very, very serious. Very, very serious face. So yeah.
Okay, I got a weird question for this one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Soloscaper's saying Dr. Doom does it, Joe.
Yes, I was going to say the Mind Flayer Mastermind.
And Soloscaper was actually talking about that in his video too. I remember him. I believe Soloscaper, you're talking about it in your video because you were kind of impressed with this unit as well. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Adam.
So, interaction with Isamu with this. So, wording on Isamu is attacked and at least 1 skull is rolled. So, you roll with your 1 attack dice a 0, like a miss, but 2 automatic skulls are rolled.
Mm-hmm.
Does it bypass it?
Does it bypass it?
I wish you asked this question when Ben was still in the chat.
I'd have to do further research on it. I wouldn't know that off the bat.
Yeah, I'm sure that will come up, or we can even... I mean, honestly, you could probably get an answer. I can literally... If you really, really want an answer right now, I can go to the Heroscape Discord.
I would say
Well, I'm just looking through all the things that auto
Yeah.
Only because if you read the entire power there, it says Marachott always adds 2 automatic skulls to whatever is rolled.
Yeah.
Implying that the 2 automatic skulls are not what is rolled, but that's how I would interpret it.
Right. It's still part of a die roll.
It's Isamu's condition, and a skull is rolled.
Yes. So I think correct. I guess what I'm saying for reading this, I'm thinking that the 2 automatic skulls are not considered to be rolled because the phrasing there that says they're added to whatever is rolled, implying that the 1 die is what's being rolled.
Yeah.
But
so I don't think it would not trigger Vanish.
Yeah.
If you missed on that skull.
Which means it's Isamu killer, and with the goblin cutters.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying with Vanish 9. That's actually a question. Let's see here. Adds 2 automatic skulls to whatever is rolled. It depends on whether or not these 2 automatic skulls is considered the skulls that are being rolled.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just me saying it. I would say that yes, these would be skulls that are being rolled since you are rolling the attack dice, and so I think Vanish 9 would still be in effect for that, because if you would roll a skull on that one rolled die, then yes, a skull would be rolled. So if you're just adding on to whatever is automatically going to just be already 2 skulls onto that. So I think I think Vanish 9 would apply, actually. But that's just me. I could be wrong, but that's how I'm reading it.
Yeah, but just in general, there's a lot of things that they auto kill, like Roman archers.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like there's so many. Anything with the defensive 1 is just dying
just
to this guy.
Yeah.
But once again, it is only one attack. You know, he's only doing that once per turn. I mean, when it comes to this game, the more figures you have, the better odds you have of killing something.
This would probably be like a better hero killer, depending on the life of said hero. You know. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it is cool though to be like, you know what? Yeah, let's delete something, and we'll just delete it. Like, just what a fun concept to be like. Yeah, goodbye.
Goodbye. Yeah, but that. Oh my goodness! I think this is the most disturbing mini that I've seen so far out of everything. Yeah, it just looks weird. But now that Soulscapers said, you know, C-3PO, if I would ever animate this female, it would have to sound C-3PO like. It would have to have like the hollow, you know, metallic sound, and probably have her have the same type of prissy type voice that C-3PO has, just because, you know, personality to the character, you know. That look though, look at that look. If looks could kill, you know, that's a look. And actually, because she could. We've got 2 automatic skulls rolling. Okay. Last beast.
Bruno, the Bramble.
I think some people were disappointed by this one. Yeah. For me, it's kind of like a big filler unit because it's 45 points. Again, it's got sharp thorns as well. Mm-hmm. And the attack is nothing to sniff at. And I don't remember the comparison with the NGC unit because they have a Vronal as well, NGC. And I have to compare the two pull that up sometime in the future. Actually.
The NGC unit had a ability where if a friendly figure damages the guy, he would attack. He'd do like 1 damage to everybody around him.
Right.
And that was paired with one of the other Dryans that had like a very weak weapon that's designed to shoot this guy. So you send this guy into a group of enemy soldiers, and his buddy would shoot him in the back for 1 point of damage and like kill a bunch of guys in one shot.
Right. So it's a little less so. It's just sharp thorns again, but it's basically a familiar unit that I mean, at 45 points, it's not bad compared to the other 3. I mean, we'll see, I guess, when we start playing it. But I think it was just, I think for some people it was kind of underwhelming a little bit. Though,
you know, I just happened to go on the NGC website. They finally released Wave 4, and I was not aware of this.
Say what? Is that the lawman or the desert? They did. Yeah. I didn't know that.
It's got the koala. It's got this really cool, I don't know what this is.
When did they do that? I have heard no announcement. Is someone else taking
nothing.
over it? Because I know who was running that originally is out. It's completely out. So I wonder if someone else took over. That's interesting. I'll have
there's also like a whole page for like unfinished drafts that they had.
Oh wow.
Which are really cool. There's even one for Airborne Elite.
I thought NGC was dead, so I'll have to recheck that out then. Interesting.
Well, maybe next pod we'll have to go through these.
I need to find out who's in control of that then. Like, okay, who's out there? Who is hiding under the shadows, like making all this stuff that was under my nose. Anyway, I want to say one thing.
For those,
go ahead.
For those in the chat, I just want to just say, whoever doesn't know about NGC, it's New Generation Customs. Right. They were making alternate units or custom units for Age of Annihilation in mind. Yes. So just go check out NGC. I think regardless if they continue or not, I think giving them some support would be awesome because it's just some really awesome units.
Oh yeah, they are. I can't wait to put their ball bugs against the ball bugs I have and just see.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun skirmish when I get around to it. But one thing I want to say, like the artwork for Vrono here, compared to the mini, it's a little cringe. It's a little cringe. I mean, the mini.
Yet again, we have vines that look like fabric from an anime.
Yeah, although these vines look better. These vines do look better. They look a little bit more pointy. But Yeah, I guess I have to put the miniature in my hands. I guess like some of these wizards, they just need to be like painted, by a professional, basically. Have a professional grade paint so you can get really the personality out from them. Because it doesn't. Okay, well I can kind of see it, but again, the artwork looks like, look at that. That just looks like, whew.
That's cool.
A lot more intimidating of a pose there in the artwork versus the miniature.
Yeah, I like that pose a lot. Yeah, the other one looks like kind of like a zombie. It's like walking up this zombie walk.
Yeah,
it does
it's
actually.
Not a bad comparison.
The skin tone, yeah, it's yeah, and you just make those spikes a different color. Just put a little black on it, even if you're kind of off base with it. Just black. Just dab it a little bit, and there you go.
Yeah,
give the vines a little bit more personality. But oh well.
Solo Scaper sticking with Otar. Yeah.
Otar. Hey, hopefully within like a month or two, I'll be getting my own Otar.
Nice.
We'll see, but I might have an unboxing sometime in the near future. Oh, I'm gonna hit the wrong button here. Hold on a second. Let me go back to here. Okay. So we looked at Dryans probably for too long. Way too long.
No, I think that's a good amount. Oh, I mean the Dryans are cool.
Yeah.
Not my favorite faction, but they're like literally second or third place. Honestly.
Well, and no, the bonding is great. I think that's like the second out of this wave, like probably the second strongest bonding possibilities that you have for these is the Dryans, or maybe second or third, because I know we're going to get into pirates for a second, and we also got the Scions and the water people. That's very interesting. But yeah, let's just look. Okay, what do we think about Crimson Widow? I really like.
Can't
her.
wait. Best unit.
I think she's so fun.
Oh my gosh. OMG! Why can't I bring up the? Okay, what's going on?
I want to talk to our audio listeners and just tell them. Well, as soon as that pops up, for some reason it's not popping up.
It's not popping up. I don't have something wrong with the website or something.
Yeah, right click.
Are you having a problem too? Oh.
Yeah, usually I just hit.
Yeah, it's not a web. It's you have to right click and open a new tab.
Oh, interesting.
Well, I can do that, I guess. Here, hold on a second.
Interesting. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, okay. So for those audio listeners, I just want to tell everybody, for Crimson Widow, the reason that we love her so much is for higher crew. Higher crew. At the start of the game, you may choose a unique squad in your army. For this game, the chosen squad's class becomes Pirate, replacing the class listed on its army card.
And Solo Scaper was talking about this in his video too when it comes to higher crew. It was actually kind of how would I put it? Was kind of like dream building armies, and like was proposing like a higher crew, and the crew being the Brute Gruts, which I think is. I mean, I'm getting my last Brute Gut too sometime soon. And yeah, Solo Scaper, thank you so much for joining us. You take care. You take care of yourself. Thank you so much, and thank you for this again. Everybody who wants to like check out Solo Scaper stuff. Give him a sub. Give him a sub. Check out what he does, because he does some good stuff. He's a up and coming content creator there for Heroscape, and he's got some good stuff. So check him out. But yeah, when it comes to Crimson Widow, higher crew is going to be so nice, so nice.
I mean, just the possibilities are endless, and I love that. The fact that it's changing something on the army card. I said it a couple weeks ago, or the last couple podcasts. There was an April Fool's event that I had went to, and the whole idea was that you can change one aspect of the card when it came to its race, its personality, its class, its faction. You can change, and you just thought to yourself, okay, that's a cool idea. And then the deeper that you thought about it, I'm like, oh wait, hold on. There's so much you can do. Like, I made my 10th reg tomorrow so I can birth them out of the hive. Like, that was such an awesome thing. Like, getting the 10th reg to be birthed out of the hive is just so insane. And granted, I thought I was going somewhere kind of meta with that. Boy, the armies that I saw that day were phenomenal. Just such cool combinations. I eventually want to talk about that entire event. I have to go back through and look at all the armies. But same idea here with higher crew. Just being able to change your class to pirate and then work with it either with the Midnight Raid and the Pirate Commando, and do all these other combos with the other pirate characters is just love it. I just love it. It's so cool.
Adam just looked at me and said, "Pirate bears."
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yep.
Coupled with Admiral, the part of the problem with the bears is their speed, and you can just move them with Admiral shooting it. Yeah.
Pirate Commander, increase your attack value. My gosh.
Mm-hmm.
That just Midnight Raid. Just there's so many good things. 150 points, really great value. We'll even ignore the fact that she only has 3 defense, but still, it's really good. She's just there to lead them squads, to lead them unique squads, and they do the job,
Yeah, she's standing in the start zone the entire game.
Oh yeah.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no range for this, right? It's
Yeah, there's no reason for this character to move, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's quitters talk. That's people who are afraid of trying.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you move Isamu around the board?
Isamu, absolutely I do. You know I do. Do you even watch our videos?
Too often. Isamu's
my favorite cleanup crew.
Cleanup crew. Exactly, cleanup crew. Not start the battle. He's not charging in.
Too funny.
You said never move her. I didn't say I never move him. People are just afraid to try things.
Crimson Widow, though, is great. This is the unit that Heroscape community's been waiting for. Really been waiting for to really make those pirates pop and make them really competitive. And I think this will jumpstart that a lot.
Absolutely, 100%.
Mm-hmm. Not a bad mini either.
I'm once again prefer the artwork to this pose is it's just kind of like, hey guys, I showed up, go that way.
Yeah, the poses a lot of these units poses do feel more like statuesque. Like these, if I went to a wax museum, these would be great to stand next to. But not if I'm going in the battle. Like, she's not even looking towards her sword as if the point, yes, I'm going to kill you now. Like, it's just like, hi, I'm on Barney.
Interesting.
Welcome to my show.
I will say her paint job has been one of my favorites so far, though.
You know what this reminds me of? This sword reminds me of a Keyblade.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of does. Which is kind of cool because it's got the loop handle.
Mm-hmm.
It's like...
You guys ever watch Avatar: The Last Airbender? She kind of looks like Sokka.
Slightly.
I could see it.
In the model. The model makes her look like Sokka.
Yep.
Yeah, if her personality was like puns, would be great.
It feels like it is.
Yeah.
Too good. It's an Einar.
It's like nobody wants to work with her. That's why she has to hire a crew. Because her jokes are so bad. No one wants to work with her. She has to I have to pay people now.
I'd like to tell you a joke right now, and all the pirates go, let's get out of here.
I'll pay you money. Fine.
Speaking of more pirates, what about this brute? Look, there's a shark. My son's going to be so happy. Or is that a shark? I'm not sure if that's a shark or not. I'm going to say
it looks like a shark.
It looks like a hammerhead, but it doesn't look like the head is a bit of a hammer.
I mean, they all look humanoid looking. I'm going to say it's a shark. It's just a humanoid shark. Let's just put it that way. Be happy with that.
And his weapon confirms that as well. Supports that.
The harpoon,
Yeah. These guys.
But these figures, I always thought at the initial.
Oh my goodness, this isn't coming up either.
Teasing.
What's up with this? Wait a second.
I thought they were going to be unique heroes.
Wait a sec, guys. I need to check something. Yeah, go ahead and keep on talking about it, but I'm doing
Yeah,
some
go for it.
housekeeping here because this wasn't happening before, and I want to make sure if it's me or if it's a.
It's me too. I'm having the same problem.
So
right?
this is happening
Us as
here
well.
with these. So it's the website. It's the website because I just did
Yeah.
it with something else. So okay, all right. So we just have to deal with it then, I guess.
And what happened to their name? Why are they not the dreadnoughts of New Tortuga?
Tortuga.
But yet,
Apparently, we're not going to have.
but yet, if you look on their box, if you look at the artwork, right, the top artwork, if you scroll all the way up, with it says the
yeah.
Embers of War, Oh wait, no, they changed it. They must have changed it because in my original, when I recorded a video that Friday, it said Dreadnoughts of New Tortuga on the artwork, and then but on the card it was still Caraway Cavern. Oh,
Gotcha.
Interesting.
Maybe Disney came at them.
Yeah, Dreadnoughts of Caraway Cavern right there. Yeah. Yeah.
Is New Tortuga from a Disney show?
No,
Yeah,
but
Pirates of the
Tortuga is
Caribbean.
in Pirates of the
Pirates of
Caribbean.
the Caribbean, yeah.
The island is
Oh.
Tortuga.
Yep.
Okay.
Which means
Yep.
turtle.
Yeah, but it's like pirates and Tortuga.
It just means turtle.
Yeah, you don't mess with the mouse.
Yeah. Justin says that he much prefers the New Tortuga versus Caraway Cavern. I don't have no problem with Caraway Cavern. I just want to see what is being locked in. I was just more confused about what was being locked in.
Okay.
And I think we like New Tortuga because we associate it with Pirates of the Caribbean because we are familiar with those movies.
Yes.
And it's also the first thing we've been introduced to. So
Yes.
we do have a bit of that kind of bias.
Now, I like the artwork. I also like the minis. Have no
Yeah.
problem with these minis.
Both
These
knocked it out of
minis,
park.
Yeah, they're very, very nice. Very, very nice. And again, I can't. Okay, I have to. No. I don't want to save the image. Here, hold on a second. I'm totally messing myself up. Okay, open a new tab. Am I confusing myself? Yes, I am.
So we're back to Life of 2
Look
squad
at that.
units, which
Look at that. Again, I'm going to say it
Love
again.
it.
We need small wound tokens that can put on a base. We need it. I don't know how you're going to do it, just extra pack Renegade, but if you're going to keep on doling these out, because we have more multi-life squads now from this wave, not just this, we need them. Need them. Or else we're going to start making them ourselves. I'm just saying.
I mean, the community already has been doing stuff. I got a bundle of them. I think one of the communities, Garrett, he's from the Mars group. He was passing them out at the last event, and he says as long as people want them, he'll going to be passing them out. Cool. So, and they say these things for the bases fit on the thing. I mean, the characters' bases fit on top of these little wound things, and it just shows a little circle around it. It says wound on it. Just so you can know it's damaged by one.
Very, very important. But yeah, these guys, nice.
How is it? Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
How you guys seeing they're like hit markers? How are the weapons? They're huge. I mean, I guess because if you hit them, that you don't actually damage it, but like. I don't know. It still looks so weird. The weapons look so huge on the hit markers. All right, we're moving on then. I guess that was.
Someone else respond to that because I'm paying attention to several dozen things. Okay.
Big weapon, big.
So I was looking at the HTML code of the website to figure out why the images weren't loading, and
there you go.
and I think I did. So.
Okay. What's going on with the Jason? Tell Renegade. I don't know. Apparently, they need someone to operate their website better.
The images that are not loading are appearing to be missing an attribute called data shg lightbox image equals true. So,
all right.
Renegade, hire Jason
take a look at that.
right now. Hire Jason right now. He knows what he's doing. Apparently, whoever's operating your website, and nothing against them, but Jason knows better. So I'm just saying. Hire Jason. Okay. So anything else about these guys? I mean, there's this stuff here. There's
Lava Blow seems interesting. I don't know how practical it would be.
After taking opponent's figure, roll one attack die for each wound inflicted on an attack for each additional skull roll. Inflict 1 wound on that figure.
It's almost like a wound frenzy type thing, you know?
After attacking an opponent's figure,
you roll 1 attack die for each wound inflicted in that attack. For each additional skull rolled, inflict 1 wound on that figure. I mean, it's not exactly a frenzy, but it's like like you attack them and then you wound.
It's kind
them.
of like Twist the Blade.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. There's a VC character, if I remember correctly, that has something like that.
Okay, give yourself a moment. Although we do have to move on.
Tetrates?
It's already getting late. So.
Tetrates has finishing blow. After Tetrates inflicts 1 or more wounds on a small or medium unique hero with its normal attack, if that figure has only 1 life remaining, you may destroy that hero. Okay, so it's a little bit different, but it's the same idea of like you want to make sure that whatever attack you're doing is doing the amount of damage to kill things.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, yes, those pirates look very, very interesting. I'm sure me and Jeremy will get more in depth with them and their lore coming this Wednesday. But we do need to move on, so I'm going to move on. Archers, giants, not humans, giants. Now, what are our thoughts about these?
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
awesome.
They're a different take on ranged combat for Heroscape. It's kind of interesting.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bit of a balance for 4th Mass, if you think about it.
Their common squad, 80 points. Do you think for 80 points, they're a little pricey? Because it's only 2 attacks. It's only 2 attacks, right? Per round.
Range is 7, attack 5. For two attacks of 5 back to back from range of 7 is kind of nuts.
Hero killers, then basically.
I mean, confirming kills for even your squaddies.
Yeah, especially with them adding more of like 2 health squads. Your squads are getting a little bit harder to kill nowadays. Mm-hmm. I found that out the hard way the other day.
Premium scapes, I think they can break the game. Quite possibly. Yeah. I mean, it would be one thing if they were a unique squad, but they are a common squad. So if you have even 3 or 4 squads of these guys.
Yeah, let's say you have 8 of them.
Appropriately priced common squad.
Yeah.
So Sylvaris would be
3 or 4 of them.
Is very jealous. Just say Sylvaris is very jealous right now.
I'll sit back and stop talking about
and they're 2 life. So they ain't going down that easy.
Yeah, they're
me and my hatred of common squads like these. So
2 life common squad. No, we've never seen that before. We've only seen two life unique squads.
Exactly. Again,
so,
we need small wound tokens, guys. We need small wound tokens.
Yeah.
Renegade. Don't worry, these guys are giants.
They're giants, yeah.
Yeah, and that also adds to the thing. They are big. They're actually generally large characters, which are really cool. And we've never really seen a large ranged unit that isn't just a dragon.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously there's the Soulborgs too are like that. But for common squads, that we've never seen that. Large common squads with range? Who else? Who else has that?
Yeah, we'll have to see how they do. They're definitely an interesting unit. So they're giants. They're not humans. They're giants.
Yeah, I mean, you put them on height at a range 4 or greater, you're getting 5 attack. If a range 7 or higher, you're getting 6 attack. Like, this is just nuts.
And if you put a wound on them, they still standing there. So go ahead, Jason.
You're creating like a kind of a no man's land where you want to end either closer than 4 range or outside range 7, because you end in that little mix there, you're really taking a lot of taking a really powerful attack.
These are not melee fighters. These are definitely not melee fighters. They'll go down quickly if they encounter melee. I think Premium Escape. I think if there would have been another unit added to this, to where instead of a 2 squad, it'd be a 3 squad, then yeah, that probably would break the game. That would probably be something.
Even so, I still think at 2 life, they're nasty.
Yeah, I think so. definitely. There's just so many options for like all these units that are coming forth. And here I got it. This for this next one. This has got to be my favorite units out of the bunch so far. The Scions.
Oh, hands down.
Because, and I'm just going to go right to it. Cleave to the mighty. You can choose an Archmage, Dragon, King, or Queen unique hero you control to be the liege for all the Scions of Icaria you control. Do you understand how amazing? And these guys are flying too, so I don't like Greenscale's not, and we had like, we have our thumbnail, Greenscales versus Scions, and we're finally getting to it now after how long are we into the podcast? But I don't think Greenscales can't fly, right?
No.
So, and
they don't have range attacks either.
Yeah, Greenscales, like they link up to any, I think, dragon hero, right? It's basically any dragon hero. Not queen, not archmage. There is so much these Scions can do, and I'm sorry, I say Scions, but I mean Scions. So I'm sorry if I mispronounce things. I know I was doing that last Wednesday, and it drove me nuts when I was reviewing it. But it's amazing what army builds you can put these baby dragons in BC and Classic and Renegade. It's incredible. They're common squads. There's 3 of them. They have a ranged special attack, 2 attack, 2 defense. But I think the reason why they have a little bit higher point value than Greenscales is the fact that they can cleave to a lot more heroes and bond with a lot more. And the fact, and I've forgotten that if they had flying or not, and since they do, that's even more incredible. That they have actually flying tacked onto them, which makes sense. They're dragons. So yeah, I'm very impressed with these. I have a very strong, and I could be wrong, but I have a very strong feeling that this is going to be a very stellar common squad army with other armies, just for the fact of the possibilities of, like, I mean, they could go with the Bug Queen, they could go with like VC Malthera and the bees. They can go for any dragon. They can go with old or new Sonlin. They can do Queen Kyrian. There's just so many hero units that you can use with these guys. It's incredible.
And because they are representing the nostalgia for Murmuring, Braxis, and Nilfhelm, I think this is just probably going to be one of the better selling common boxes that comes with the Great Archers and the Scions of Icaria. I mean, they are essentially not just replacing the idea of Greenscales, but also the Wormlings. So, it has
a different take.
Obviously, not the bonding that the Wormlings have, but the idea of them, flying squads essentially. And there's 3 of them. Why would multiple baby Murmurings, Braxis, and Nilfhelms
you can repaint them,
flown around?
You can get unpainted ones. You can get unpainted ones, because if you read the lore, there's actually like a ton of these. There's many offspring. The offspring of dragons are very much ignored until they get to full adulthood. So there's an interesting dynamic on Icaria. I think Icaria is the planet of the dragons. It's a very interesting system that they have. Yet the Scions are still, these baby dragons are still useful. So
I'm just a little confused because Scion, I looked at that word, I'm like, that sounds really familiar. Why do I know that word already? Yeah, we already have a Dryant, Scion of the Wild.
Yep.
And I looked up Scion, and it says here, a young descendant or heir, especially of a wealthy, influential, or famous family.
Boom.
Which makes sense for the dragons. That makes sense. But I'm not familiar with the Scion of the Wild. Halucia, yeah.
The heir of the wild, of the wilderness, maybe.
He speaks for the trees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey.
You saw that a mile away coming.
We need a Lorax. We need a Lorax. Just saying.
Yeah.
I would just like to point out once more, their personality is pompous.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I love that for them.
Absolutely. So much attitude, especially when you read the
Yeah,
lore.
I mean, look
These
at
are
look at the artwork. Don't they
with
look pompous?
attitude.
They're like, oh, we're just the most best things in the world, aren't we? Like,
earlier I said they look like a singing dragon trio I would find in a tavern D&D campaign.
yeah, and because of because of the lighting that they have on here, the middle one just looks like a more eviler Spyro. So, I feel like I kind of want to get one unpainted just so I can paint him like Spyro. So
that'd be awesome.
The great thing with these two, it's like you could get like original. The paints aren't too bad on these. But the great thing is you could get one just painted and the rest unpainted, and just paint whatever color you feel like painting all these, and just get, just the common squads galore and just have fun with it. This is one, and I was saying this last Wednesday too, that I can totally see me and my son getting a bunch of them, him doing his paints for his, because this is also, if you're limited also in finances and you just want an army that can blend well with all kinds of facets of Heroscape, be it classic VC or Renegade, this is it. You can do it with this, and you can build an army quite financially cheaply as possible to interact with all facets of Heroscape and tournament play, especially if you're young, like my son, and you want to learn the game and do it. This seems like a great choice for it. Now, of course, we need to test it out, make sure it actually is a good army to play against other armies, because more than likely it's a focus king build, of course, and so you have to learn how to play a king build. But I think it's a great starter. I think it's a great starter for people to get into Heroscape for them. Yeah, absolutely.
So I've got two quick questions.
Go ahead, Jason.
What is baby Mimring eating? I keep seeing a quadcopter. I know it's obviously not that. And it's driving me crazy.
Jeremy has explained this.
Oh?
This is a creature that's in Icaria, and it's mentioned in the Heroscape lore. That it's a creature that's mentioned in Heroscape lore that the dragons do feast on. Actually,
that aren't the crabs. Interesting. Okay.
Question number 2.
Yes.
Does Utgard do the thing where he only summons characters that are near death, or does he pull whoever he wants in the battle?
Well, I don't know if that's part of the full lore. I think that's something that it's assumed, is it?
Based on the stories that we know of.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know like Jandar and others do it, but I don't know if Utgard does that. If that's a requirement of the whole summoning process, or is that just what Jandar does to try to minimize the impact in the other worlds?
Oh, true.
The reason why I asked that is if that actually is a requirement of summoning, is somebody going around Icaria just taking out as many dragon kids as possible? I mean,
that is true. How do you explain? I mean, in general too. How do you explain commons?
This is Ukar that we're talking about, So.
Yeah. But maybe Ukar is just going ahead and doing it himself, and there's not that whole
it actually
awfulness, I guess, going on.
It surprised me that these baby dragons are like under Ukar's banner. I think 2 surprises about me that they were actually going to be a common squad. I thought they were going to be individual units. And that they all follow under Ukar's banner, like two surprises for me when I saw this last Wednesday. So,
no, you're right. That is a huge surprise.
It raises more questions than answers given, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. But still, an amazing
story. Once again, it's almost like pirates initially, where it's like they don't follow the Valkyrie general anymore, even though the card represents that's who summoned them.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that Nilfhelm had a bunch of babies, or I don't know how dragons reproduce, but Braxis was a Vidar dragon, and Murmuring's the only one that's Utgard. But yet they all have a draconic breath special attack, which doesn't really explain. Is it fire? Is it just heat? Like what is draconic breath? Is it stink? they spread stink? What is?
It's probably just a generic stand-in to be whatever you want it to be, because all those
a fire, poison,
dragons,
ice,
whatever
they
you
all
get,
have
whatever they
different
can have out of
attacks,
them.
and it's kind of weird.
Although I do
probably
believe
have my special attack.
This dragon here, the red memory like dragon is Mimring's offspring. That is confirmed in the lore. So that is a very interesting thing.
It's a lot of offspring.
At least the red one. Yeah, it's a lot of eggs for sure. Premium Scape. Uthgar is the bad guy. Uthgar is the bad guy. Yep. As far as
I don't know if that was
not the bad guy though.
Say what?
He's just misunderstood.
Yeah, right?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
These are the bad guys.
You guys want to witness a divorce in action?
I would allow you guys time just to, go in your corner and start saying things about each other and just posting it on but I don't think we have
This is an intervention, by the way. This is a problem.
Adam,
we have been watching all those interviews that you guys do, so...
Yes. This was actually... we do needed to talk to you about something before we ended the stream. Because we have everybody here in the chat who are here for you. We just, we wanted to let you know. We're here as your friends. We love you so... Okay, I'm sorry. I'll quit while I'm ahead.
I was wondering how long that was going to go on for.
Yeah, we're running out of time, so we do need to get to Gallery Vanguards. Okay, I think out of all the bonding synergies from this wave, the top of my list is definitely the Scions. And then... second or third is Pirates Dryan with the beasts, and then the last, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but and I'll explain why in a second, why I think these guys are last in the aspect. I'm not saying that they're not good. It's not a good bounty synergy. It's actually really good. But when it comes to Gallery Vanguards and the bounty synergy they have with not octopus.
Krakenling?
Yeah, the Krakenling is because of the fact they rely on water tiles. And yes, you can bring Iwashia to them, but at the same time, doling out water tiles, that takes time. And when you're competing against other armies, that requires like a really fast turnaround in order to get them, that might leave them standing. But at the same time, that's just from speculation. We haven't really tested these guys out yet. But I'll say with the Gallery Vanguards, I think it's a really fun bit of lore. They come from underwater civilization that now Valorak is kind of, how should I say it, is encroaching upon. So these underwater people are just coming out from the ocean and attacking, are starting to attack anybody that they see because they think everybody's attacking them. But they are Valhallan natives, these Gallery Vanguards, which is very, very interesting. So they actually have some type of ancestry to the Kiri on Valhalla, which is very fascinating. On that lore bit, so we did talk about a bit of lore, me and Jeremy, last Wednesday. So if you want to look at that stream, and eventually I'll have it out in video segments. But yeah, and that for that aspect of these Gallery are very, very interesting. And when it comes to their stat card, one thing I like about them is because they have, again, like you were saying, Joe, they have like a D&D unit like squad tacked on to them to where they have a title advance. What's really cool about title advance is that for each round, depending on how many order markers they have on, up to 4, any unit, including them, with a fierce or unfathomable that's fierce or unfathomable figure, gets to move the amount of spaces of order markers that Gallery Vanguards have. So if you got 1, everybody moves up 1. If you have 4, everybody moves up 4. So that tactically, it's always good to gain ground. So I really like that about the Gallery Vanguards. That the whole army could potentially move up. So that is very interesting. But that's just me. What do you guys think about these guys?
I'm drawing comparisons to Solhagen with them, especially with the defend the deep. And I was never a big fan of Solhagen, so like I'm finding them kind of underwhelming, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I really like these. I think of these units. My first initial reaction was, "Oh my god, I need these for Heroscape Adventure. I need a reason that if you go into the water, these are the things that attack you."
Yeah, and I think this is why they're like in fourth place, like in last when it comes to like this individual wave, wave 5 for me when it comes to bonding synergy armies. Because they are very, very extremely water dependent. I think they'll struggle against land-based if they got to fight on land. They have to get to water fast. That's very important, vital for them.
This type of unit to me just doesn't work for Heroscape, at least competitively, because majority of games, how much water is on a map? 2, 4. Maybe 6 at max.
It probably depends on the tournament too. I think in some specific tournaments they might excel in, but when it comes to regular like cheese tournament, they might be struggling. Although the Krakenling is very fun. You want to hop to the Krakenling real quick?
One thing I will say about the how are you pronouncing these guys?
Gallery. The Gallery.
They finally bonding is with a personality. I love that so much. I want that more often. Being able, I was looking like, oh wait, Unfathomable. Who's Unfathomable? And I realized the Crackling was Unfathomable. I was like, is there anything else? I don't think so. Unfathomable, I think, is a brand new personality. Same with Stubborn and Pompous, which are great additions. So please, for any customs community that comes out, let's make personality trait Unfathomable, so we can use on more bonding with the title Advance, or let's use personality as a reason, because why would you bond with something else? Because of their personality, right? Just like human relationships, we bond over because our personalities share same like-mindedness. So why can't we have more units that bond based on personality? I think that's such an awesome reason to have a personality. Otherwise, we look at it and go, who cares? Who cares if they're fierce? Who cares if they're... Doesn't change anything for me, gameplay-wise, right? But yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. Otherwise, I like the look of these guys. These guys feel like the most Heroscape thing I've seen in a while. So,
well, and because they have a kinship to the Kiri, which is interesting, and this is coming from like an unknown civilization so far that's in Valhalla, so that opens up new possibilities for like very similar but very different units for the game. So I think that's something that's incredible for this, for these units, for this civilization. But let me go to the last one. Now this one is fun though by itself, but it's great that it bonds with the gallery, because again, maybe it's not your or my cup of tea, but maybe someone likes, hey, I like how they bond, that Gallery Vanguards bond with the Crackling. I'm just gonna get these because I like them. By all means do it. Because Kraken
Cthulhu has entered the chat.
Absolutely. And I'm not going to read the lore, but the lore for this is very, very fun. There's a reason why it's a Uller General led card, and the lore is very cool. But this is another thing too that I really like. I'm going to just explain briefly and I'll let you guys talk. The fact that this thing can control time is like, this is something I can play with, when it comes to storytelling in the future too, which is very, very fun. But anyway, okay. I'll let you guys tell me what you all think about this. Jason, you haven't had much chance to talk. Go first.
So is this basically be a Cthulhu guy, because you have the Eldritch switch down there? That's very much a Cthulhu terminology right there, that Eldritch.
Yep. Yep, and
of course, tentacles.
This is actually special ability taken from another unit from Classic Heroscape. Joe, do you know which one it is?
The Hydra.
Well, the Hydra, but no, I was thinking of something else for the Switch.
Oh, tactical switch being Oh my god,
I'm asking you because I forget too.
Yeah, hold on. I'll get to you. Give me 1 second.
That's fine.
I know their points. They're 80 points. Hold on. I was gonna search by point value. 80 points. 80 points. 80 points. Where are they? Hold on. They are the show me potato salad.
And Jason,
come on.
Is this the first monster unit that we're having in the game? Like, as far as like mainstream Heroscape?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know that.
Monster's too generic. I hate that.
That's
the only thing I hate about it. It's too generic.
I like it. I like it.
What? Why?
Because we need more monsters. We need more
monsters. Everything's a monster if you don't know what it is.
True.
That's quitters talk.
I just agree easily, so.
And everything's a beast if you really think about it.
Thank you, Dan. It's Warforge.
Warforge, there you go.
Warforge.
Yep.
I'm thinking they're. I'm curious now.
I got destroyed by a Warforge army last year at ScapeCon. Oh my gosh, it was like anyway. But yeah, Eldritch Switch, that's really cool. The warp space though is like, oh my gosh. Anyway, okay, Joe. What do you think? What do you think?
Warp space to me reminds me of the NGC Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's 75 in VC. And then in Delta... Yeah, I was right. 80 points. Yeah, I was right. Okay, that was Warforge. Anyway, yeah, the Kraken Lane. Yeah, Warp Space is the same exact power that the NGC Asley the Horrender has. So I'm very curious to see how they got to that conclusion. Because this is a Renegade figure, but... I digress. Eldritch Switch is obviously tactical switch for the Warforge. Flailing Tentacles is the Hydra power, essentially. So we're getting more D&D inspiration for their power. So even though the Renegade may not be able to bring back D&D figures, they are using their powers in new ways to keep that idea alive, which is awesome. And that they can swim, whoopee-doo. But yeah, all these powers are great. I think attack 4, defense 5 is fantastic. Move 4 is great because they move slow. That makes perfect sense. They're unfathomable, which is a brand new personality trait. Monster is too vague for me. But once again, maybe that makes sense because even people that don't know what this Krakenling really is, as a it's a Kraken. So how is it? Wait, that's its class. So its job is being a monster? Is that how we classify that?
Monster movies, yeah.
I know plenty of people who's that's their job. What is Cthulhu's job, my guy?
Being a monster? You scare the kids? You go out in a costume, it's like, oh.
No, like in all seriousness, I know lots of people in the haunt industry that.
You're saying the Krakenling walks around Valhalla, is like,
popping out from boxes.
This is why we need more arches, so we can make a haunted mansion for the Kraken and the other monster-like characters, and we can make a oh my god,
Heroscape Haunted House.
That could be the next adventure. True. That could be the next adventure.
We have vampires.
We'll be in touch.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, super fun. I love this unit. I think it's great.
Yeah. No, yeah.
The model looks awesome too. I think it's so much fun.
Adam, what do you think about the stats? Like, I think the stats are solid for 85 points.
I love the stats. I like being able to roll 12 dice against something. Great.
Mm-hmm.
I am interested of how they're going to play out, because the reason that Finn Hydra was uncommon hero was because then, so the thing with commons is that they were normally only had 1 health,
right? So
you could use 1 card. And so I wonder how that's going to play out kind of competitively. And because my assumption is you can't just put a wound on whatever. It's dependent on the figure that was hit.
Yeah, you still got to put the wound on a figure, but you can, like, you don't have to declare, you don't have to put an order marker behind said miniature for commons. You know, for uncommons you had to, but for commons, you just put the order marker down on the card, and whatever common you choose, you can choose. You don't need to tell your opponent, you know, what to do with it. Which is why.
Oh, that's right. It's the order marker.
Yeah, it's the order marker. Yeah.
Yeah, but even so, like now so for example, with it comes to the big bow, the giant bow guys, right? They have a 2 life. Same with the bears, right? 2 life. I feel like I think using the great bow guys are better because they are common. So we were talking about before that we need something to go on the bases so we could determine it has a wound or not, right? Because it's, you know, 2 life for the great bow archers. You put 1 underneath, it has, you know, 1 wound left. You know, you get the other wound, it kills it off easy. How do you do 3? How are we going to be doing 3 for these guys? This is so weird to me. Was that not a thought process? Is there should be like a small little snippet or update or, you know, tweet or whatever that just says like how do we deal with this situation? Like how do you explain?
Joe, can I interject real quick, because it was mentioned on our stream last Wednesday, and I forget who talked about it, but the idea that was told, and I'm sorry, I forget who it was, but like detaching 3 tentacles and then putting magnets in each tentacle, so when you have a wound on the Kraken lane, you take away 1 tentacle, and then you put another one. You take it's a one-way, very inventive way of indicating how many wounds is on a Kraken lane. It's just taking a tentacle away by, you know, just pre-using it. I thought that's genius, actually.
I love that idea. I actually saw people do that for the Hydra.
Right.
They had their Hydras like that. They had cut the heads off, put magnets, drilled, you know, like it's awesome. So cool.
I like it. I like it a lot.
So I guess you could do that, because if you look at the figure itself, it has 2 very large like scalpel-like claws. So you can do that for those 2, and of course the final one would be the rest of life. Right. But yeah, I don't know if anyone's going to really be doing that for, let's say, even 4 of these guys. Majority of the community is not going to be cutting them off and putting magnets on those. It's just not.
No, I get it.
You know.
A simpler option is you just have a separate little card that has like 4 boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4 to represent 4 miniatures, and you just number the back of the miniature or the base with a Sharpie.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then there you can track the health separate of, you know, the order tokens on the main stack card.
Sure.
Order markers, sticky tack.
That too.
Stick them to the end of the
once
tentacle.
again, I just feel when it comes to, I mean, I guess for us, I think we're used to this already when it comes to uncommons, playing with uncommons, you know, and doing we do a lot for this game that was kind of like left thoughtless, you know, filling the gaps where either Hasbro before didn't think of something, or even now right with Renegade, like, we have to come up with solutions to these problems where you know, they didn't think of that before. Like, it was like, oh shoot, we've got this. You know, I don't know. Like, I feel like we shouldn't have to come up with these type of solutions for this issue. It should be like, hey, this pack comes with you know, 1. And here's the other thing too. Why does it only come with 1? Yeah, I don't know. For a common hero, I feel like I would want 2 in that box. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah.
Because it only comes with 5 units, sure, but you know, because the oh my god, the Vanguards. I'm just gonna call them Vanguards. Mm-hmm. There's 4 of them, and then it comes with 1 Krakenling.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like that box should have came with 2. But once again, like, the box should come with something that says, okay, here's extra wound tokens, you know, because like the base game, we already said, does not come with enough dice, and it does not come with enough wound tokens.
It especially like just like the small wound tokens were a great idea, and I think Renegade should really ran with that, especially since they are making more of these type of common units that require more life. Something needs to be done with that. Something needs to be done as quickly as they possibly can manage it.
Yeah, even if they come up with their own tokens to put underneath. You know, because if with the small like rectangle ones that Avalon Hill was going to do, that has something to do with the base itself. You're reconstructing the tooling for whatever, and I understand not going along with that. But even if you say, okay, we have these small wound tokens for your army cards, and here's these big ones that go under the bases for your figures, and when you buy your two life squad characters or heroes, we're going to give you the amount that you need. So, for example, if the box came with one Krakenling, it comes with two. Actually, I still don't even know how you do two. I really don't. So, someone in the community figure that one out, because I don't know how you're supposed to label, 3 life figure for a common hero. This is the first. This is the first.
It's the first.
We never had a 3 life common character.
Nope. Yeah.
What are we supposed to do?
But I like the artwork for this because it seems like it's jumping out of time and space. I don't know if you guys noticed that in the artwork. It's like creating a rift in time.
It's very clever.
I think it's really cool. But yeah, so that's Crackling, and I think Justin was saying something like switch swim to slither might have made this a better option. But at the same time, it's not. I get it, but it's not really a slither type of creature. I'd say it's more of a swim, unfortunately. But we do have to close out because there's one more thing we have to mention about this, and
gotta speculate.
Yeah, Joe's got, and I can't show it. I'll have to talk about it because I did take photos, but I forgot to upload them. So, but there was something at the end of the entire Renegade Con stream, and I'm just gonna actually here. What I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna take these off. There's a way I can actually show it. I can show it on my phone. So, okay, this is gone. I'm gonna expand me. Everybody,
share it to yourself on Discord.
Everybody, look at me. Everybody, look at me. So I have a screenshot, and I think that's gonna come out backwards, right? Yeah, it is.
No. I mean, I could see it. I'll tell you on the internet.
It's backwards to you.
Okay, good. Then, as long as you guys can see it, that's fine. So, summer 2026, and then it says, "From the shadows of history." Oh, again, I don't know if that can be seen. Well.
Yeah, on this stream, it is backwards. By the way.
Okay, it is backwards. Yeah. Okay. This is the best I can do. Here, hold on a second. It comes out.
Wait, does that mean that everything that you showed is also backwards? I don't think so, right? No,
I don't think so. Age of Annihilation is nearly complete. Anyway, just watch it for yourself. It's like on the last few seconds of the stream.
Yeah, if you watch the live stream from last Friday's,
the full one, the main shadows of history, a new era unfolds, and then it basically shows a new thing called Heroscape, Secrets of the Citadel. So what does that mean? Probably new master set.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
new master set.
Yeah,
probably comes with like 5 archways.
5?
Okay,
probably. It probably takes terrain away from you. Honestly,
so
it comes to your house and takes away your terrain.
So before we wrap tonight, I mean, I have just 1 or 2 thoughts before I let you all talk. Just one thing I got to point out that I think might be pretty obvious. We still don't know what Age of Annihilation was freaking about, okay?
Yeah.
Where's the annihilation part? What got annihilated? I still don't know. Okay, they had a peace summit and that went high wire. That's the annihilation part. I was like, I'm expecting half the planet to get blown to hell. That's what I'm expecting. And
I mean, look, at some point they might just like off screen kill all the D&D characters. This is like the 1980s Transformers movie where they completely kill off. No spoilers, I guess. Spoiler alert.
I don't
kill off the entire cast for the Transformers movie just for a brand new line of toys. Literally, they made that movie to kill off all the characters just so they could make new toys. And that's what the Age of Annihilation should have been.
Joe, who hurt you?
Hasbro. Hasbro did. With that
Now we
movie.
know that.
Darn wizards.
Now we know Vider has a space station, and maybe he actually does have a massive collection of ICBMs.
Yo, if
he's
he
gonna
does a
unleash
magic
upon
one,
Valhalla.
that'd be
And there's
great.
Age of Annihilation. Done.
Thank
New
you.
game.
I'd be happy with that. I'd be happy with that. Actually,
Yo,
everybody goes
that'd be
underground.
awesome.
Secrets of the Citadel. There you go. You go underground
Drops
because
a
everything
nuke.
else, like the
Kills off all the characters we know and love.
nuke it from orbit. That's the only way to be sure. You know, I can be happy with that. You know, but I don't think that's what's gonna happen. I think it's just gonna like Age of Annihilation. What a title! And then we just go to Secrets of the Citadel. For me, it just seems a little anticlimactic. You know, we go to the possibility of stuff just being, and then Secrets. Okay, I mean, I guess
nothing feels like the end of times.
And actually, okay, and this is something I'm kind of afraid of. Look, I have every confidence in the lore team and Jeremy, Dandelions, in what they're doing. I have every confidence in them, especially with Jeremy. So, I mean, what I'm about to say in a second, I still have every confidence in them. But for me, it just seems like they're doing what Wizards of the Coast did, because there's already hints that they're trying to do D&D like stuff. And as Joe was saying, for this wave 5, it's kind of like they're throwing D&D elements, you know, into it, that we're just going to get another rehash of the D&D line. And it could work if that's where they're going. It could work very well. But at the same time, Wizards of the Coast tried this, and it bombed quite spectacularly. So that's kind of my fear on where they're going. Again, it could work very well, but that's kind of where I'm going with it when it comes to
why would they use the powers, reuse powers or retool powers from the D&D line only to come out with more D&D like characters?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're saying?
Well,
like
Secrets of the Citadel sounds just like a D&D campaign. It sounds like a D&D.
I mean, I think it's a great term. I mean, honestly, any movie title. I mean, it sounds like a great movie title too. Because like anytime you throw secrets in there,
and just compared to Age of Annihilation, just seems a little underwhelming. That's just
you're absolutely right. Age of Annihilation is just like Age of Annihilation, and then Secrets of the Citadel. Like, what's the Citadel do? Is it hyping up, or is it where everyone goes after the annihilation of whatever happens? Mm-hmm. You know, is this where everyone is going, or is this where the annihilation is happening? Right, the Citadel is what maybe is going to actually annihilate everything. Who knows?
Inventive Harvest has an interesting take. The Wellsprings get annihilated, all poisoned. Possibly, but it's still not.
The Lord wasn't that one of the scenarios that someone poisoned the Wellsprings?
Someone's poisoned the water hole.
That's kind of been the whole thing recently. It's like Ular's gone insane because
this is the overall story arc too of the scenarios too. You have certain characters trying to find a way to cure people. That's basically the plot line of all the scenarios.
Right.
So I think we're getting to that point to where eventually I think we're going to get to a resolution of that sometime, probably this year. My guess.
And to me it's a really weird story arc where it's like, okay, let's poison the wellspring. Okay, the wellspring's poisoned. Okay, so what does that mean? All the Valkyrie generals do not become Valkyrie generals because they have to consistently keep drinking it to become as powerful as they are. And then by the end of it, let's say they cure the wellsprings and then they're just nothing happens, or they stay poisoned. Now we get to play as the Valkyrie generals, as normal Valkyrie, or just Kyrie, and then they have to find a way to cure them again, or that kind of ends the war. And then let's say they only bring in only unique heroes and keep commons out of it, because I would assume that if they can't summon new stuff, that means there's no toys for us. So I don't know where the lore is going to help us play this game or not, depending on which direction you go. Because at the end of the day, the Wellsprings have to be intact for this game to exist. The war needs... what other reason could they fight over? What other
Because
resource
now they dislike each other.
Yeah, they just don't like each other. What? That's boring. So.
And I'm just catching up with the comments too, because I think we have some good comments from people too. Like Premium Escape saying, I thought that was the name for the next story arc. It could be the name for the next story arc and not a master set. So that is that possibility too. So again, take my rant with a grain of salt, for sure. Again, I have a lot of confidence in what these guys are doing. So these are just the things that enter my mind, that I just need to get out. Otherwise, it's just going to stay in there.
And obviously, too, I mean, they didn't tease. They teased something entirely different, and Premium Escape also said, "Will that be G.I. Joe?"
Yeah,
no.
G.I. Joe. There might be a G.I. Joe
totally
master
different
set. Yeah, that might be its own master set too. So
that might be just a battle box.
It could be. It could be as well.
It could be like 5 or 6 characters, and then come with some kind of unique terrain, which would be cool.
Right.
If Secrets of the Citadel is just another story arc, that's quite a bit of a jump between October and summer, when they've been doing every 4 months consistently. So you'd think you would see something either in February or June, unless G.I. Joe is going to drop in spring of 2026.
Let's see. Secrets of the Citadel. Let me go back. That will be because they did have
summer 2026, right?
Yeah, summer 2026. So that's still a ways away. That's still a ways away.
Yeah, so plenty of time to tell more story, because they put out a scenario once a month.
Yep.
So there's a lot of story to still be told, but.
But I guess if that is not the next main story point in Heroscape, you wouldn't tease something 2 story arcs away when they're in terms of what the current release schedule is.
Right.
So there should be something coming out early 2026. Unless, for example, if that is a new master set, that may take longer to develop.
Sure.
Or there's some other Heroscape product dropping in early 2026 that's not technically a story arc, like a G.I. Joe box set.
Sure.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense for it to just be a story arc, because they haven't announced any of the other story arcs in that way.
Right, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Yeah. And you look at all the product material for the figures, not the terrain, but the figures. In the bottom right, it says Age of Annihilation. So this obviously will be starting something completely new.
Right.
That's why I think it's going to be a master set, which I feel like I don't even know why we have to think about that. I think that's what I believe what it is. And then every expansion after that will not say Age of Annihilation on it, but Secrets of the Citadel.
Right.
And we'll have more units based on that. And of course, at this point, fact check me, please. I think this is the end of that original HasLab campaign.
This wave 5,
the units that in wave 5.
Units. Yep. Yeah, I think this is the wave 5. This is the last units that we're getting from the
So literally everything after here, even though we have already seen what Renegade has started to prepare for us,
all Renegade now.
everything will be Renegade made at this point. Tear shed, because I love the Avalon Hill designs. I think everything they did from the oh my god, my brain. What is the group called? The group that
War Council or the Council?
The War Council,
the War
yes.
Council, yeah, the War Council.
They did a fantastic job, and at this point, I feel like I want to give the designers at Renegade a new name. But yeah, some of these units have been pretty good. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for the future. But
and let me go back to and play devil's advocate to my rant.
Go for it. I love when you do that. Yeah.
Now, maybe it's because Age of Annihilation was such a strong statement, and even though I still disagree with the fact that it's kind of going out in a whimper, or it seems like they could do something. Don't get me wrong; they could make it very explosive at the end, but when it comes to Event of Harvest. When it comes to Secrets of the Citadel, it might be coming out to where, okay, we want to start on something now more grounded and build ourselves up to something that will eventually be a lot more explosive later on, because you want to keep this going. You want to keep the storyline going for as long as possible. So when you don't want to begin with some climatic event like what Age of Annihilation seemed to be. You want to start something from the ground and then work your way up to something very climactic in the future. So if we're talking about building story, then I can understand that.
But once again, when Avalon Hill was throwing this on their feet from the get-go, they didn't know where it was going to go.
Right.
So they wanted to bring something out with some big drums going boom, 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 boom. Age of Annihilation. Because who knew, right? No one knew that, one, unfortunately that failed, but not terribly, but in the hearts of Hasbro it failed. It didn't fail for us, because eventually we did get it, giving HasLab campaign $1 million. I'm going to go through it. But
yes, Dan,
yeah,
exactly.
Of course, as story arc goes, you want to start from the beginning. You have the three arc structure. If you look at Rise of the Valkyrie, Swarm of the Morrow,
Secrets of the Underdeep.
Secrets of Underdark.
Secret of Underdark.
Yeah.
Battle for the Underdark?
Battle for the Underdark.
Battle for Underdark. Yep.
And it's like none of those really have the impact. At least maybe somebody from the olden days might say that when Swarm of the Morrow was released, people were like, oh, Swarm of the Morrow. Oh, wow. Age of Annihilation to me sounds like big thing. Secrets of the Citadel is also really good. I like that one. Big. Sounds big.
It's a good, it's a good restart, and then just,
Rise of the Valkyrie. I don't know. Maybe we've been living with it too long. Maybe. I don't know. Battle for the Underdark.
I disagree with you on that one. Rise of the Valkyrie was fantastic for little 6-year-old me.
Rise.
No, sure, but like we saw the fit. Like for me, like a story, like an adult me, like story wise, like I love movies, and I like to see trailers for things, and everything's got to be super big and exciting, and I love the blockbuster end of things. The Age of Annihilation and Secrets of the Citadel sound way bigger than it's ever been as of Rise of the Valkyrie, Swarm of the Morrow, Battle for the Underdark. Anyway. So, like I said, I high hopes in my end for that.
But y'all, I think we should wrap. I think we should wrap for tonight, because it is getting.
We're gonna wrap at the end of it, like the Pokemon wrap. We're gonna wrap with all the
oh my god,
all the figures we started today.
If we started wrapping all the Heroscape news, we would be here until 6:00 in the morning. So no.
You're leaving, Vanguard.
I mean, wrap like we're shutting this down. Okay, we're leaving. We're coming. We need to do a little bit of backstage after. So, but I do appreciate just everybody coming on. So for the panel, let's just plug away real quickly and then wrap up for the night. But I think it's good discussion, giving the overview of everything tonight, especially opinions on what they announced at the end of the stream. But Hexala, go ahead.
Hey, we're Hexala. We make Heroscape videos. We're on our channel. Yeah, we're back.
We're back. Took a break, but we're here now.
Yeah, that's us.
All right. Thank you guys for being with us on the panel tonight. Joe, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm also still on my break. I've been busy. Even though I'm done being married. Not done being married, but like I'm done with the
Somebody asked Jill what's going on. He's already done with being married. It's only been a few weeks. Oh
I'm done with it. Forget this.
Heroscape drama unlocked.
So even though I'm the wedding's over, and everything's kind of cooling down, we still have a lot of stuff going on, and I'm trying to take control of my life again and come and start editing and writing. I'm writing again, but it feels like every other day I'm being pulled to go do something else, because I know sometime this week I got to go get more litter for the bunnies.
Joe,
so
let's see, old ball and chain right now, huh?
Not necessarily. I think it's mostly my fault.
That's what they want you. That's what they want you to think.
It's my fault.
And it's amazing it happened so fast.
Yeah, everything's. I give myself too many things to do, and then my mind gets overwhelmed, and I explode, and I just like, and I'm gonna take a nap.
Hey,
or I'm gonna go escape somewhere.
It's still Father's Day for like 3 more minutes, so I can say it.
Yes. By the way, Happy Father's Day.
Absolutely, yes. For like 3 more minutes, and then we're back to just like everything she says is right.
Just like forget the fathers, forget them. Who cares? No one's.
Who needs a father figure? I don't.
I think there's a comedian that has said something about like Father's Day being like the 16th or 20th like holiday on the list, and he's like, I can't even think of 14 other holidays. Like,
Hey, we're still streaming on this holiday, so
we're still streaming on it. So
anyway, thank you, Joe.
I yield my time.
Jason, go ahead.
I'm Jason over at Rocco Robotics on YouTube, and I'm kind of covering the ever seemingly increasing cataclysmic news cycle for tabletop gaming these days. So,
bravo on that, by the way.
Check him out.
Bravo.
Check him out. And I don't remember if I have like link in the description below for Hexala, but definitely check him out. On YouTube. I'll put that link because I don't think I put it on. Oh, there's my head. But yes, I'm Ryan, aka Tales of Valhalla. This Wednesday we'll do a part 2 of covering more in depth what we were looking at tonight with Jeremy. Looking at the lore in depth with one of the writers of the lore via Renegade, Heroscape. So join us this Wednesday night for that. And then coming up, I'm writing a script for season 4, guys. I'm writing scripts for other things. So keep an eye out, because Tales of Valhalla YouTube channel, as well as Tales of the Void soon, is going to be activated. We're going to be creating more stories, stop motion content, which is the thing that I love to do. But preparing for Gen Con, I'm going to be doing some skirmishes. I already have a map that's set up here. So later on this month, we'll be live streaming some skirmishes, because I got to really get into the swing of things and learn how to play competitively again. So lots to look forward to with that. Thank you, everybody in the comments. Too many to name, but I thank all of you for joining, for commenting. Please leave a comment below as well, so it can be included in our possibility of included in our next podcast in the future. They're already piling up. So leave your best insight for us, and it might be mentioned. But I appreciate y'all there in the chat. Thank you, guys. Thank you all so much. You have a purpose in your life. Find it, pursue it, live it, and we'll see all of you next time. Later now. Bye. Bye.